Welcome back, everybody. It's currently Saturday, 10th of July, sorry. It's currently 7:30 a.m. and we're going to do some backtesting session over the September 2012 period. So it's currently Monday, 17 September 2012, 7 a.m. GMT. So it's currently London Open. And we're going to do our usual daily analysis, try to scalp to set up intraday ideas. This week that is starting today doesn't have a lot of high impact news. What we have is today almost nothing. The next day we have some speakers of the Federal Open Market Committee. We have in 2 days, so Wednesday, we have the building permits, home sales, and Thursday we have the unemployment claims. Remember where we are in this time, in this period. It's currently after the crisis, after the financial crisis that started in 2008, that led to lower interest rates, high unemployment, huge quantitative easing coming from the Fed to sustain and stimulate the economy. And we are now starting to sort of recover. But remember that we are still seeing and watching closely the labor market to see where are we in our recovery path. So let's start. Where are we on a daily time frame? We saw gold creating this bearish trend, creating lower lows and lower highs. Found support. Let me check around 1530. Since then, making new highs and sort of wedging, if you can see, the creating a flag in a lower, because wasn't able to create new higher highs, but was still creating higher lows. So you can see the pattern of a wedge. This day is August, so we saw then a squeeze up in August that brought gold to completely recorrect for like 1,000 pips, recorrect this bearish move. Of course, we have always to consider that on a high time frame, what was the last point, last lower high that led to the last lower low. So this pivot was the last lower high that led to this lower low. So we have to consider that unless price breaks above this level, we can still consider the trend bearish, because overall, if you zoom out, it's still bearish. We just need to connect here, and it's still bearish. Of course, trend lines are always drawn afterwards, after the pivot is created. So it's not something to base our trading idea solely on, but they give you a visual idea of what the price is doing. So when in the bearish trend they were creating lower highs and lower lows, this last lower high still has to be broken. We will see if maybe this week or next week will be broken to start then a higher and deeper correction to possibly come back to 1906 levels. Remember that where are we? In what period? We are in a period where tapering talks are starting. We are in a period where interest rates hikes are on the mouth of Fed. So we have to be really mindful that to have the juice to revisit or even break above these previous highs it's quite a lot. Will need a fundamental reason. Also for, I think that for price to break above and stay above and to go to revisit these highs, we need some federal speakers really being pessimistic about the current status of the economy. So let's go on the hourly time frame. As always. So you need to paste this one over. Okay. So we see that on the hourly time frame, these were the previous highs, the one we were talking about, and this is a order block consolidation period that has been created after impulsive move, consolidation, order block, impulsive move, consolidation. So we can now see the creation of this order block. We can say that we are going to look for buys above this level. Now we are going to be more detailed, or even sells, high risk sells below this 1769 last resistance support, or safely below the key levels. The same, we need to see the reactions at the at this level. So okay, so let me clone them so that I'm able to see them on the 5 minute. So this is mainly scalp ideas. This order block on the 5 minute is a mess, so I would preferably say either we get a reaction and a retest of the key level, or sort of retest of this order block, small order block, to continue down, or we see a breakout of above. So we are going to see how the price is going to move. Let's go. On the 1 minute. Okay, so we are here. So we saw reaction on the previous lows, went to test it, and sort of already bounced 15 pips, 16 pips. Let's see if the price is able to correct anywhere further, or if it's just a liquidity grab, a consolidation in a bearish trend, which can bring to, of course, continuation down. For now, looks like bearish sellers are in control. Okay, we are starting to close 1 minute candles to travel below. So now what are we going to see? The 1 minute candle is not closed yet. It's 30 seconds into it. What we are spotting? What do we have to be aware of? Double bottom at its previous lows. If we see the next candles to recorrect and engulf the previous bearish candles, we can enter buys to take advantage of the reaction and rejection of the level to even 30 pips or whatever. If then we see a break and retest, they can go and revisit these levels, these previous lows. Then maybe with a break and retest, or maybe on impulsive, we can take advantage of it. Right now, it's 20 pips of stop loss would be, but I'm not entering yet. Okay, let me. Okay, the 1 minute candle closed above. This was a rejection, but this one closed still below, so there's no sign of double bottom yet. Let's see if we see some engulfing candle. Okay, so we start seeing bullish candles. Let's see the next one. Okay, the next one went pretty fast above. Let's see if it actually creates a double bottom as we were spotting. Indeed, it did, like 20 pips. Okay, now we see a retest of the previous highs. If we see that the price is not breaking below, this might be a nice good re-entry for price to continue up. For now, it's not, unless you enter here for 20 pips. There's not a clean action. I don't like all these candles. Okay. Asian session is closing. We are into London's pure London session. We see now prices creating. Maybe if when here they didn't have enough liquidity, enough momentum to break below, they had to grab liquidity, and then during London session, it might break below or react even harder. Let's see. Okay, for now, it looks like that we are expecting a sort of bearish trend line, with price not being able to break to create a new low, new highs, but instead, after this impulsive bearish, got a sort of correction, but failing to break above. We had 20 pips scalp if it was fastly enter above these previous highs, and now we are going to see this retest again of the lows. Okay, price is indeed closing below. We might enter here with like 15 pips stop loss, but I will wait a couple candles to see if it manages to break above or not. Okay. Okay, this is not the action that I would like to see if I was in sells here, exactly. But this looks like a retest, nice retest, and to continuation down. Let's see, but small bearish candles, as you can see. I'm not seeing too much of impulsive and aggressive candles. This one is a good one. We are still 13 pips down. But remember, of all the choppy action we had on the left. Okay, I will enter here. I want to try to enter aggressively with a closed stop loss. I will put the stop loss above here for like 10 pips. And of course, I take profit, won't be 600, but I place it. for price to further continue down. We saw retest, failure to break above, and it's dangerously coming towards my stop loss. Not a nice action. We are seeing a bullish correction of the bearish impulsive. So it's not something that I really would like to see. I'm going to let it run to the stop loss in any case, if it goes. Really choppy action. This is not something that I would like to trade in. There's no clear buyers or sellers in control. And of course, now we're going to either get stopped out. You see, price is starting to have that juice. But it's not the action that you want to see in a trend. So where are we on the hourly time frame? We are bearish, but we are weak bearish. We are seeing reaction and rejection and these previous lows. Okay, looks like finally we got a break below. So now we are like 3-4 pips in profit. There's no need to risk the full amount yet again. So what I'm going to do is to what I'm going to do is to put the stop loss over here. I don't want to risk the full 10 pips stop loss yet again, and I'm going to let it run. Okay, looks like 8 pips. And price is coming back to the entry really aggressively again. You got a retest again. Okay, we are stopped out. Price is still in a bearish trend, but now is correcting it on the upward side. This is not a clean action, not necessarily to trade in these actions. When there's no clear, you want to trade when there's clear buyers or sellers in control, and that was my mistake. We are continuously printing like a barcode, and that was not the entry that I should have taken. Let's go on to New York session. Okay, so you see this choppiness during, at the start of New York. Let's see if price is finally closing below. But remember that, as I said, we printed it on the 5 minute. The real lows of the bodies is here. So that was probably my mistake, that I oversold. Also, we could have spotted this double bottom, but let's let it run. Okay, now safe sells will only be below this level, safe buys only above the key level. So we see definitely some more volume. In terms of volatility, the candles are bigger, but we still don't have any point of entry yet. We are approaching the key level, we are printing higher lows, higher highs. Let's see now. Approaching the key level. We got a huge rejection. 25 pips on the dot, 30 pips. This candle is something that you could not, a 12 pips candle that is that you couldn't entry on it. For a quick scalp, a huge 15 pips bullish corrective candle. And we're going to see the reaction here at the key level again. If we see a failure again to break, we can now start to see a wedge creating. So we broke above, and then we went immediately back into the range. We are still creating higher lows, and we got immediately corrected. Okay, so we got a nice little fake out candle, boom, dun dun, in and out. So price is definitely ranging, and we're not going to touch it again. So guys, this is it for today. We had a failed attempt to sell here. We came out with 5 pips stop loss, so not a big deal. We entered at the break of the previous lows in a low volatility, low volume period. So my biggest mistake was that was not, you don't want to enter in such an action. You see, now I'm going to zoom in. there's no reason to enter when each candle is the opposite color of the previous one. Bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish is not a clear trend. Why enter here? Actually, it was a big mistake. We came out with only 5 pips loss after being in profit like 10 pips. So nothing to blame. When we could enter with such engulfing and clear action, showing strength, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, 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 bullish, bullish, bearish, 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 bearish. Crazy. It's a pattern recognition, bullish, bullish, bullish. Look like this is so clean. Why should we enter here when it's so choppy? There's no point. So thank you guys. We'll see you later on for another session.